His name is Juan Manuel Pereira, and it says here that he's a renowned concrete technologist and digital transformation consultant. And he really is. He knows what he's talking about. He's actually the mastermind behind Concrete Watcher, which is a revolutionary monitoring system for concrete mixer trucks. And he'll be telling us a lot more about that. He says he brings nearly 2 decades of experience in concrete production, mixed design, QA and QC, and monitoring to his presentations. Juan Manuel, we can see your presentation, but we can't yet see you. So if you wouldn't mind just switching on your webcam and your microphone, because I can see that your microphone isn't switched on. Yes, it is now. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me, Rob?
Yes, we can. That's fantastic. Thanks very much indeed. He is a visionary leader, he says, or it says here, reshaping the concrete industry with cutting-edge technology and a hands-on approach. Delighted to have you with us here today, Juan Manuel. If you would just put your presentation into presentation mode, slideshow mode, that would be great. That's perfect. So, Juan Manuel, we can now see you and hear you, and your presentation is in the right format. So please go ahead and give us your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. It's a pleasure being here again at this Global Concrete Seminar. Today, I'll be presenting and explaining our new system called Concrete Watcher. It's an in-transit concrete monitoring system based on artificial intelligence. So, what is this system? It's a very simple concept. Okay, it's a new technology that allows you to know exactly what's going on with your concrete inside the trucks as if you were looking at it yourself. Okay, so Concrete Watcher records in video what happens inside the drum, okay, across the whole process before you start loading, so you can see if the truck is empty or there's something in it, while the loading happens, during transport when you see it mixing, and when the truck is on site, you see the concrete discharging, and you see any additions that are put into it, like water, admixture, fibers. You can see everything, and everything gets recorded. Okay, so with these recordings, it's kind of like a security camera, but you don't need to look at it like in the movies that the security guard is looking some other way, and so the robbers go in. But it's analyzed with artificial intelligence, so it's looking at it all the time, and it's checking all the time what's going on. So this is a real and worldwide need, and here I put an example of a client of mine. They say here in a WhatsApp chat they text a lot every day, checking what's going on site. So the boss is telling one of the lab technicians, please arrange a technician to check the slump for all trucks here, they mean at the plant, and then follow the truck on site to ensure no water is being added. Okay, so this happens everywhere, and this has been happening all along. People need to police the drivers in a way, or to guard the concrete to see that nobody is tampering with it. Okay, so this technology solves this need. Okay, so the system is installed on the truck. It's basically a small box that you put down here, number one. It has a camera that goes up there by the loading chute. Okay, and this box produces a Wi-Fi signal and connects to the internet, so you can see what's going on in the cabin, and you can see what's going on online from the plant or from a mobile device. Okay, so what does it do and how does it do it? Okay, so it has this camera and it does a continuous recording of what's going on. So you have a guaranteed traceability. It records like very short videos, like 30 seconds continuously, and they are associated to the truck and to the exact date and time. So you have the whole history of what's going on with that truck. Then the AI analysis, artificial intelligence analysis, happens on the truck, so it doesn't need a network connection. Okay, and it happens in real time. And It can give alerts. For instance, the most basic alert is that the camera is covered, so the driver needs to go clean it. And also, the driver can operate the system. It can run automatically, or it can have an interface with a tablet or a mobile phone to say, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, start recording, stop, etc. The data transmission is automatic. Okay, so it has a SIM card like your phone, and it uploads that analysis and it uploads the videos, so you can watch and you can see and you can get all these alerts from the plant or from wherever you are in your phone. Okay? It gives you this online access in real time to all what's going on, and you have a full-fledged management application where you can see what's going on with each truck, with the fleet, etc., etc. Okay, and of course we can customize any type of alerts, and we'll see in a bit what type of alerts we can do. Okay. And it also, given that it's continuous recording, it has an automatic sleep mode. So when the system detects that nothing is going on, it just reports, okay, the truck is stopped, it's nighttime, nothing is going on, and it just deletes the video because it saves data transfer. Okay, so the AI, the artificial intelligence, can do everything that a person can do. Okay, if you're looking inside the drum, what can you see? Well, first of all, you can determine what's inside the truck. Okay, if it's empty or not, if there's some concrete or some washing water, if concrete is being loaded, if it's unloading, etc., etc. Okay, you can see if the drum is rotating which way and at what speed. Okay, and it can actually measure the speed. You could do it with a chronometer. Okay, counting revolutions and checking how much time it is for each turn. Okay. It can detect water additions or any other type of additions with like admixture or fibers or whatever. If you are a little bit used to looking at the concrete, you can guess, or you can check the slump visually. Okay, many people do, and people have in some countries they have like a specialized guy doing this, like checking the slump visually, and he says it's 220 millimeters, it's 150, and whatever. So the system can do that as well. Okay. You can control the exact duration of the loading or unloading process when you're on site, and you can see that the concrete is being unloaded and it stops and then it starts again, on and on and on. So you can see that. Okay, you can calculate how much concrete is still on the truck because you can see how much volume there is there, and you could also count the revolutions when it's unloading, and you could get a calculation on that. Okay, and you can see, and we'll actually see a video of this, if there is any spillage during transport. Okay, if you were there on the truck while driving on top of the truck looking at it, and some of the concrete goes out, you could see it. Okay, and also, and this is a bit for the future, you can control the maintenance. If there is any wear or loss of the blades or any plates or any buildup, you could notice that visually. So the system can do it as well. But being an artificial intelligence like a robot, okay, it's better than any human because it's always alert. It doesn't sleep. Okay, it doesn't get tired. It doesn't get distracted. So it's doing its job all the time, 24/7. Okay, it learns continuously. Okay, because it's like one brain that we have, a central brain looking at all the concretes all around. Okay, with many eyes. Each camera we have is one eye. It's like having hours or years of experience put into one person in one brain. It makes objective evaluations. It doesn't cheat. Okay? It doesn't tip the scales to get the result that is convenient or that it likes, okay, to cover for someone or something like that. It records everything. It doesn't forget anything because everything is recorded and it's hard proof, it's hard evidence of what's going on because it's a video recording, has everything. And it gives you immediate alerts. It's like it doesn't forgive you. You know, whenever something is wrong, it will tell you, and it will tell if the driver is not cleaning the camera, for instance, it will tell the boss immediately. Okay, so there's no escape to it. So it's a patented technology. We filed the patents in Europe and USA for this. And these are some examples of installation. These are some of the first prototype units. This one is in Belgium. You see where the box is attached. It's a very small box, easy to attach. It just needs the power from the battery pack. So no connection to the central computer of the truck, to any of the truck systems like oil pressure or air pressure or whatever. Okay, and then the camera and the light source, it's very easy to install. Actually, in this case, we had this pipe here in this truck. Every truck is a little bit different, but we put this light with just the metal bracers. This is a very powerful flashlight to see the end of the drum. You'll see in a bit. Okay. So there are many alternative positions for this. Usually this goes in the back of the truck for the length of the cable of the camera, just that. Here's some technical specifications. It's very low power, it's very low weight, it's watertight, it's protected for dust, for everything, can be outdoors. All the cables are for outdoors, so it's really well protected, and in the prototypes, this has been working very well. Okay, it can also connect to the Wi-Fi of the plant to upload the videos faster if you don't have a very good SIM card connection. So we're going to the good part now. Okay, these are actual recordings of the system. You see this one turning. These two are the same truck. You can see here that the light source is shining on the bottom of the drum. In this one, you cannot see it as well because the sun is in another position. The truck turned, but still the computer can see the pixels in there. Playing with the contrast and that, if we would do that with the video, we could see it. So it can still detect if there's something there. And around here, you will see some water additions. This is the water pipe here. This longer one is admixtures. So this is a very clear event for the system that water is being added. Okay, it cannot actually measure how much water because it's not a flow meter, but we can calibrate for the pipe and see how many liters go per second, and then we can check how many seconds water has been added. So it's a very good assessment of how much water has been added to the truck. In this one, we see the concrete unloading. You can see here, and here's the very end of the last blade, so you can see the concrete actually pouring out. Okay, there is a small stain here. This is not relevant for a cleanup or clean me alert. And here we can see the rotation speed. We can see the slump of the concrete. We can evaluate the slump of the concrete on how it flows, how it goes on top of the blade, etc., etc. And counting the speed and counting the rotations, we can calculate how much concrete has been poured out. So in this particular case, it's a very large truck, like a 12 or 14 cubic meters. They can do that in Belgium. So it takes a long time to unload the truck. And this is a very valuable information for the logistics. And this is another example in the UK. This truck is turning the other way. It's built differently. So this direction is loading direction. And this was in transit. So you can see now, and you'll be able to see in a second, that the concrete is going out. So what is going on here? The truck is turning in the loading direction, but the concrete is coming out anyway. So that is a spillage during transport. Okay, I was actually in the car behind the truck, and if you can cross-reference that with the GPS, and we can do that, we can connect to a GPS system. We can pinpoint where the spill happened. Okay, exactly which corner, which street this happened. Okay, and these are the analysis and the alerts we can produce. Okay, so it has a full-fledged management tool. These are some screenshots of the software, this app management app that I mentioned. Okay, so you have a fleet status in real time. You have a list of alerts for every truck. You can get a detailed activity log for each truck, statistics. You can check the history of the alerts and of the videos, etc., and you can receive these alerts by email or WhatsApp or Telegram. Okay, So this system with this app, and this is also a screenshot, removes the largest blind spot in the process, because we know what we do at the plant. Then it's like this: we close our eyes and we don't know exactly what's going on. We need to trust people to write things on paper, write things down on paper, and then we kind of know what they do on site, because they do the slump check, air check, density, and then they test specimens for strength and durability. So having this system avoids a lot of quality issues. Okay, you can detect the water additions, you can detect the washout water from the previous trip that's in there before loading, which is a typical trick that the drivers do. It controls the performance of the concrete and also the drivers. You get these alerts, you have traceability, and it complies with project requirements that demand an automated slump control and delivery. There haven't been many, but they are growing. Okay, the one big example in Europe, where most people are from, is the HS2, the high-speed railway in the UK, going from London up north. They require these type of systems in the trucks to be allowed to deliver concrete. Okay, and this also creates new knowledge about the delivery process, because you get a lot of information that you never had before on how the concrete behaves, on how the people behaves, on what's going on. Okay, and we can combine that with our other system, which is my original system, which is a full-fledged quality control, quality assurance system called Concrete Quality. Okay, where you get all the materials information, all the mix designs, management, and optimization. This system connects to the batching system to get all the batch records, okay, and analyze the actual weights. Okay, we get automatic weather information. We get all the testing that's on site for in fresh concrete with slump and air, etc. All the test specimens for compressive, flexural, shrinkage, whatever. Okay, and any other monitoring devices like maturity or durability sensors. And also we get statistics and reports and testing plans, etc. So when we combine these systems, okay, we have a synergy, because we have complete traceability without any blind spots. So we know what's happening before production with the raw materials. We know what's happening during production with the actual batch records. We know what's happening with the concrete washer during transport. We know what's happening on site, because we get that information into the quality system, and also for the fresh concrete and for the hardened concrete. Okay. So when we combine these systems, this combination will allow us to do things like predicting the strength or the durability just before you pour the concrete. Okay, so this can really actually avoid a pour where you will get a low strength. Okay, because you have everything under control. Okay, this can also be turned the other way around to say, okay, you can add water up to this point and don't add more because you will get a fail, or the truck has been waiting too much time, the concrete is getting hard, so you put it now or you take it back before you have a bad concrete on site. Okay, because that is very, very expensive. It's around 25 times the price of a cubic meter, the sale price of the cubic meter, to remove one that failed. So in the end, we have this complete system, okay, which is like a self-driving system. Okay, all of these things happen automatically, okay, because we can get the information from the plant automatically. We can read PDF reports from the aggregate testing or the cement testing automatically. Okay, then we have this central key new thing, where the AI is giving us the analysis of what's happening in transit. And then we have everything that happens on site. And again, this is automatic because we have weather information automatically. We get data from sensors. We get we analyze the PDF reports and read the strengths and everything. So this becomes not only QA/QC management system, but a business intelligence system. So this affects the bottom line of the business, because you can improve and you can save costs in many, many ways with this. Okay, so this is something a client told me, that when someone tells you that, oh, this test specimen is not okay, it's like a fail, okay? And you can answer, you can tell them, yeah, it's true, it's a specimen that failed, because I can prove that my concrete is just fine. Okay, so this puts weight on the testing, on the sampling, okay, because people usually don't look at that when something fails, but it's a very, it has many fails, that process, because of how they sampled, because of how they cure it, etc., etc. So it's a line of defense for the producer, okay, to have all this hard evidence of that everything went right, okay. So what's coming in the future for us? Short term is basically what we're working on now, this integration with the QA/QC system to do these predictions. Integration with the digital delivery ticket. We're working with the Spanish National Ready Mix Association for that. Integrating with different GPS tracking systems. Okay. In the midterm, these alerts for limit of the water addition, like don't add more water or you will fail. Okay, or the waiting time, or etc., etc. Automatically generating these water versus slump charts or water versus mixture charts, so you can know how to manage your concrete correctly, and get this this expression, the dynamic mix optimization. Okay, so this is coming in the future. You'll hear more about this, where every single truck you load is optimized for that moment, those conditions, the weather, the transport time, what they need on site, what the latest cost is, etc., etc. Okay, so it's a perfect optimization of a mix. And in the long term, these things will change the relationship between the testing laboratories and the QC on site, because you will require less testing. And actually, I'm part of a work group for digital testing standards. Okay, you'll hear more about this in the future as well. Okay, because it means a complete reduction, or a high reduction of the acceptance testing that you need to do on site, saving time, saving concrete, saving a lot of money. Okay, and in the long term, we'll have this robotic truck that handles everything by itself. There are already examples of self-driving trucks. Okay, trucks that add the water automatically, add mixture automatically, and this is the perfect part of that feedback loop. Okay, so the 3 key questions. I have 3 minutes, so I'll go very quickly on this. How do you clean the camera? Okay, that's the first one everybody asks, and it's like this. This is an old video before we improve the optics, and you can see the driver is wiping it with a cloth. It's really, really, really easy. Okay, every time the driver needs to go up there, he just takes a bit of cloth, wipes the camera clean, and that's it. He gets an alert. It's really easy to access. It's very well protected against everything, scratches, oil, acid, whatever. Okay, and it can be washed with a pressure hose. Okay, and this is part of the truck. It's another system, so you need to maintain it like any other part of the truck. Okay. The next big question is, how do I deal with the drivers? Meaning, how do I make them accept this? Like you did with the GPS. They didn't want to be controlled back then when you installed the first GPS, but they got used to it. So this is basically the same. Okay. This is a trend in the world. More monitoring, more information. So they need to accept it, because it's a lost battle not to do it. Okay. And then what's the price? We have an introductory offer because we're launching this. I'm not talking about the price itself, but it's a pricing schema that you purchase the hardware. There is a software subscription associated to it, and you provide your own SIM card. Okay. The price, of course, we can discuss in private. Okay. So I'll finalize with this quote to make you think. Okay. Because as the GPS provides the advantage of knowing where your trucks are at all times, this is the next part. It provides the very obvious advantage of knowing what's happening with your concrete at all times. And how this advantage translates into improvement in the business, that's for every manager to decide. Some people want to save cost, and there are many ways to save cost with this. Some people want to provide a better service to their clients. Some people want to improve the logistics. There are multiple ways depending on what your needs are, what your conditions are, but knowing more, it's an obvious advantage. Okay, and being the first to to make use of this advantage gives you an edge over the competition. Okay, so reaching the end of the presentation. So, and this is again our slogan, and something. It's the second best compliment they gave us about the system. A very well-renowned person here for digital transformation, after knowing of this system, he said exactly this: this changes everything, because so many things will change, so many the way we work will be so different in the future with these systems, okay, that we will see it in a complete different way how we work with the concrete. Okay, so I reached the end of my presentation. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening in, and you have here the contact details, my phone number, my email, and you can download this presentation with a QR code there. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Rob, up to you.
Thank you very much indeed, Juan Manuel, for a very nice presentation, and for giving us a really comprehensive overview of what your system can do from the start, from loading all the way through, from transportation to the job site and to the pour as well. It's a very compelling offering. We have a couple of questions that have come in. I'd just like to remind all of our audience that they can go ahead and ask any questions using the questions tab. But I have a couple of very quick questions for myself, first of all. The first one is, how accurate is your estimated slump? Okay. And how do you go estimating the slump?
Yeah, the accuracy depends a little bit on the training that we can do for the truck. Every truck is a little bit different, so it needs some training. The type of concrete is also different, and actually the camera or the system, it needs to know, the more information we give it, for instance, if we know how much volume you load it into the truck, that helps. What mix design it is, what the composition of that mix is, that helps. But so it's a little bit different in every case, but we are about 2 to 3 centimeters, 20 to 30 millimeters up and down in the slump. So it's, let's say, well, it's like the tolerance that you have in most standards, okay, that plus minus, we are with that. So we can pretty confidently say what category of slump there is. But as these things are, the more training, the more trucks we have, benefits everybody. We install the truck in Malta, and then another one in Spain, another one in the US. In the end, it's one brain with many eyes. It will learn from all of them. So it will improve everybody that more people use the system.
Right, okay, so presumably you put the video analysis into an algorithmic black box, and actually you don't necessarily know how it comes up with the final slump number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, you need to give it training data, it's called. So whenever you get the slump on site or you do it on the plant, you can enter that into the system, and you can tell the system, at this moment, this truck has this slump, okay? It can be done in that moment with a tablet or phone, or it can be done later with the management app, and that builds the training data. So as part of the regular quality control process, okay, you just feed whatever you're currently doing. You don't need to do any extra work. You just feed that into the system, and the system will learn. The more you feed it, of course, the faster it will learn. But it's a matter of time and an amount of information. Okay. The more similar your mixes are, for instance, in countries that they use very high flow mixes, it's kind of easy because they all look kind of the same. In other countries that they use, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 centimeter slump to 20 centimeter slump, it's a bit harder because there are more differences, but it learns it in time.
Okay, so with a slump of maybe 20 or 30 centimeters, you might have a variance of maybe 2 or 3 centimeters. Okay, so about 10%. But do you think there's a possibility of improving that that correlation?
Yeah, actually, it improves in two ways: with more general training, meaning that we take all the videos from everywhere and we train that together, so the system knows more about concrete in general. That improves the accuracy. And also we can do specific trainings for a truck or a plant, or all the trucks in a plant that use the same mixes. That also improves the accuracy.
Okay, good. So we have a question that's coming from James Nyland, and he says this seems very similar to the Verify or Verif system some of our ready-mix suppliers have used in the UK. How would it differ, and what aspects of your system are actually patented?
Okay, it is indeed very similar in the scope or what it does. Actually, we are together in this digital test standard testing with the people from Verify and others that have similar systems. The patented thing here is that we do it with video recordings. Okay, we don't need to connect to the truck to see to check any pressure of any circuit or anything like that. Everything happens with the video recordings. That's what patented. Okay, and an advantage is that it's much simpler, the installation. It's just connecting it to the battery pack, so you don't interfere with the truck systems. It can be done by the plant's mechanic in a couple hours. Okay, and also you get immediately more information and things that other types of system measuring, for instance slump, they cannot do. For instance, when you have washing water in the back of the truck, you have 200 liters of water there. That puts no pressure on the drum. So if you measure the pressure, you can see it in the gauge. If you have water in the truck, the gauge, the needle won't move. But this can see it. This can immediately see the speed of the rotation of the drum and the direction. Okay, this can see when or if the concrete goes out of the truck, like this spillage video that I showed you. You know, the truck is turning one way, and then you spill, I don't know, 200 liters of concrete or 100. Okay, if you're measuring the pressure, you won't notice that. Actually, the driver in that truck didn't notice that. And we had to call him on the phone to tell him. But these can certainly see it. So these are the advantages, and the patented part is that we do everything with video recordings and AI.
Interesting. Just very briefly, because we are running out of time, why did that spillage happen?
In that case, it was a trainee driver, and he took a right turn, and it was uphill, and he didn't. It was a full truck with very flowable concrete, and he didn't accelerate the right way or move the drum the right way. So he turned the drum, so the concrete went forwards, and then a wave went backwards just when the truck was going uphill. So that's why that spillage happened.
Okay, I've got one very quick.
A new driver.
Sorry, we're running out of time here. Natasha Pavlovich says, can we train the program alone or only with you?
If this is a proprietary system.
Do you need to be there to be able to train the truck?
Oh, physically? No, not at all. I did the first installations, and we can go accompany you, but the training happens online.
Sorry, we got it. She also says, does it depend on the concrete type? How does it know which type is in the truck as it changes during the day? Just briefly.
You know the type of concrete when you have the connection to the batching system that we do through our quality system. That helps a lot. That helps a lot, yes. The camera itself cannot know the type of concrete.
You have to tell it.
Yeah, you have to tell it, yes.
Okay. Sanjeev Raji says, nice presentation. Thanks very much indeed from India. That's great. Do you know what, Juan Manuel, that is all the time that we have for your presentation at the moment, and thanks very much indeed for answering all of our questions as well.
Okay, thank you, Rob, and thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye for now.
Okay, so we're going to move directly